Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to Be God Deen. In this video, I'm going to explain to you guys exactly why I converted to Islam and why I suggest every person in the world should be in Islam. Grew up in a Christian household where faith played an important role in my life. I was always going to church with my family and made sure that I was always up and I didn't just sleep in. And as I got older, of course, you start to sleep in because you don't really value going to church. It's just boring. You kind of just sit there, at least how it was for the Christian church. And I remember just not understanding why it was so boring, the Bible studies, the children's class, and I just didn't like it. I just didn't connect with it well. But I never questioned my faith. I would have questions such as, what happens when we die? Or maybe, what is the end for me? Do I just become nothing? Do I just not exist? What does a world of me not existing look like and feel like? Do I feel that? And that always used to scare me. That was one of my biggest fears when I was Christian. It's just what happens to me when I die? Am I really just a nothingness? And then I would see crazy stuff on the internet, and when you're not strong in your faith, you start to believe that stuff. I used to see stuff like saying that you would go to the moon and you get reincarnated and no one ever leaves, and oh my gosh, so much bad stuff. Astaghfirullah. And I would see this stuff and I would just be like, yeah, have you seen this? Or just telling people about it like I was woke. And in reality, the most woke you can be ever is being Muslim. Why? I'm gonna tell you. Because Muslims know things that other people don't know, such as shaitan. And that's gonna be the first thing I'm gonna talk about. Why every person should be in Islam. There are demons in this world that you have no clue are messing with your life because you're not Muslim. And it's the little simple tips that we get that we know not to do. And I see a lot of people, I go to my family's house and their house is just complete pitch black dark at nighttime. And I remember I used to tell my wife now, before she was my wife, that, oh yeah, I would never have lights on in my house. I'm saving the bit. Poor mindset. Do you care about lights on or do you care about demons in your house? Which one? It's not about a nightlight. It's about having that. It's not about having a nightlight. It's not about being scared of the dark. It's about knowing what they like. It's about knowing what they're attracted to and doing what you can to avoid that so they don't mess with you. And if you're stronger on your iman, then it's harder for them to mess with you. But if you're just floating, have you ever seen a crackhead talking to himself? He wasn't talking to himself. And this is going to be something so big. The next time you see someone talking to themselves, hope it gives you the chills because they're not talking to themselves. They're not. They're talking to somebody, all right. And they're going through it because they're so at a low level of brain power, and their level of iman is so low, they're just being tampered with and played with. They're literally having conversations with Jinn, shaitan. They're having the worst conversations that you can imagine. And you ever see people screaming on the side of the road? Yeah, it's real. It's a real thing. That's one of the first tips why I think that every person should become Muslim. My initial beliefs is that I believed in Jesus. My dad used to always say, oh, if you believe in Jesus and that he died on a cross and rose again, you'll go to heaven. And he used to make me say it over and over as a kid, and I used to be like, okay, I get you, okay. And then sometimes he would just be on the way home, he'd be like, hey, how do you go to heaven? And I would say the saying, and it's just always it didn't sound weird, but it just didn't feel genuine. It felt like it was kind of forced. And I didn't know that as a kid, of course. You're just being a kid. You're just listening to your dad. But now that I look at it, I never enjoyed that. I never did. I'll be in the car bro. Why does he keep saying that? I already know. If somebody tells me to say the Shahada, I'm not going to be like, oh my gosh. Because I believe it. Ashhadu la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. I'll say it fast. I'll say it 10 times. I'll say it 20 times, 30 times. I know what I believe. I'm happy and proud. So I understand why he was trying to do that, but that's just not my belief. It's not what I believe personally. And I'm so glad that I'm smart enough to realize that just because they're your parents doesn't mean that they're always right. My curiosity for Islam began when I met Muslim friends. And their values and morals were totally different than mine. I even found out that you're not supposed to have a girlfriend. As this is going to be tip number 2. As a Christian, they make it so normalized for you to shack up and literally fornicate with your girlfriend for 5 years, 3 years, 2 years, And then if you guys decide that it's kind of okay, then you guys can go get married. If that makes sense at that point. If you just don't want to get married. Like, bro, what? In Islam, you can't even touch a woman that's not yours. You can't even be in private with her. She has to be a third person around. You can't even give her a hug. Bro, I gave ladies, my friends' mothers, handshakes. 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 Watch this. Oh, salam alaikum, bye. I'm giving handshakes and I'm reaching out to them, and I turn around and I just see all the brothers staring at me. They're like, and I'm like, what? Like, I'm coming over, like, what's going on? It's like, bro, do not shake the ladies' hands. They have to, like, reach out to you. If they do it to you, it's okay, but, and I think, astaghfirullah, I'm not sure if he said that exactly like that, but basically said, like, you cannot be the one to initiate with a woman, especially a woman who's Muslim. Like, and I didn't know that. Now, my wife was there and everything, like, so I'm fine. It's not like I was doing their family, but it's just, you cannot touch a woman that's not yours. You cannot. As a man, if you ever seen a Muslim, when a woman reaches out to him, he would still not even touch her hand. He would go like this. Look at Khabib. Khabib does it. I don't know and I don't ask. I just love the rules because I know that means no one could touch my woman. Big flex, you know? Big flex. Of course, I have my doubts when converting to Islam, as everyone should. It's new to you. But I had to confront my internal problems. And I know that I've now been a happier person inside because of Islam. And I remember at one of my lowest points, and I was talking to my dad, and he said, I bet when you were sad, you didn't call on Allah. And it shocked me so much that he would even say such a thing, because that's disrespectful. That's so disrespectful. Like, if I was to say, I bet you didn't call on Jesus when you was in trouble, it's disrespectful. But they say something to me like that, and they just think that that's normal. They think that that's normal. But it's okay. It's okay. Because I still did. Even at my lowest, I prayed over 50 rakats, sunnah. I did 100 rakats. I did two rakats 50 times. 50 times. And I asked Allah to get me out of a situation. Look, watch this. I made a deal with myself and I tricked the devil. SubhanAllah. I told Allah, if this, watch this. I said, Allah, help me make this happen, and I will do 100, like 50 rakats. And I then said to the devil, because I know the devil's listening, I said, and if you try to make this not happen, I will do 100 rakats. I will do 100 rakats. Even if you try to stop me, I will do 100 rakats. Which is literally bowing your head to the floor and prostrating and praying to God, going up and down over and over 100 times. I said, if you don't make this happen, I will do this. SubhanAllah, the 50 rakats happened because I got what I wanted. Only Allah, the most powerful, the most merciful, can make the things happen. And I promise you, if I can explain the situation and go in more detail, it's a lot of stuff going on that I can't speak about right now. But if you know, you know. I absolutely love Islam. Miracles like this I almost forgot about. I remember sitting in this place and I was like, man, just let this happen. Let this happen for me, oh Allah. Let this happen. And I'll do this. And the devil, if you stop me, I'll double what I said I was going to do for when I get it. And I got what I asked for. I got exactly what I asked for. I remember the day I took my shahada and just seeing everybody in the mosque just Takbir, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. The most beautiful thing, everyone giving me hugs. I've honestly never seen a community like Muslims ever before. I've never seen a community who cares about others more than they almost initially care about themselves. They just care so much. I met a guy who was the security guard at my conversion. We are still friends to this day. This was in 2021. 3 years later, he still calls me. Assalamu alaikum, bro. I'm just checking on you. Are you okay? Is everything all right? Do you need anything? I just got this new job, bro. How's you? How's your wife? Bro, so genuine, bro. So genuine. Hey, you coming to Jummah? You're reminding me for prayers? Ya Allah, bless this man. Bless him. Send blessings towards him. Ya Allah. This would have never happened if I wasn't a Muslim. And I feel like my life will only get better being Muslim. And there was one quote that my dad always told me that stuck with me. And it still applies to this religion that I'm in. It said, "For what does it profit a man to gain the world but lose his soul?" So for me, I'm just making sure that when I profit the world, I don't lose my soul. And by doing the 5 pillars of Islam, by making sure that I'm staying on my deen, by trying to read the Quran when I can, this is what's going to make me a better Muslim every single day. By sharing the message of Allah with others, and hopefully I can just help one person get this message that they were looking for. And that's all I want to do. I just want to help one person. If this video reaches 500 people, and 2 of you guys have helped, SubhanAllah, I've done my job. This channel I made just because it's not about money, it's more about advice and opportunity, and it's not even gonna have like a lot of music and stuff like that, stuff for Allah, because I'm not making this for the dopamine. I'm making this for the knowledge, to make you a better Muslim, and if you're not Muslim yet, to just inspire you to maybe look into it. Because if you had to bet between your soul and yourself in this bodily world, it's not the soul that's gonna go to the afterlife. It's worth just taking a day to look into. It's worth taking a month to look into. I'm gonna leave you with this last thing. My dad said, "Hey, you did this and you and this in the Quran and this and that and this and that." And I said, "Dad, stop mentioning the Quran to me. When's the last time you read a page of the Quran?" "Oh, I read it. Have you ever read a page of the Quran?" "Oh, have you ever read a page?" "No." "Then why are you mentioning the Quran and what you think is in the Quran if you've never read the Quran?" "Oh, I did study lessons on it." "Okay, cool. But did you read the Quran?" "No. So why are you telling me? I've actually read the Bible. So I'm telling you scriptures from your Bible that you got from your Bible that are contradicting your Bible." And then he would try to make up statements. "I heard this, and there's a Muslim that converted to Christianity, and there's thousands of Christians that converted to Muslim, such as your son." I'll leave you with that. Embrace peace. Embrace Islam. Assalamu alaikum.